Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we got Cosmo Tank. Japanese game. Alright, we're gonna skip that since we can't see anything. Well, first off is controls are decent. All things considering. It's a little weird getting used to. Alright, so we have bombs and we're gonna get moving and see if there's anything else that we need to do here. It is kind of hard to hit things at sometimes because your positioning will be just slightly off. So is the goal just keep going? I mean, it is a very basic game in and of itself, but alright, so we had to use a bomb on that. Interesting. But like for a little fun Game Boy game, this really isn't bad. It'd be a little disappointed on like Super NES, maybe even NES to a point, depending on what they did with it. But all in all, like, you know, it's a slightly different shooter, a little different format. It reminds you of that old Battle Tanks arcade game, which they did port over to I think NES. Okay, so now we're going. Okay, I'm not a fan of this. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Okay, yeah, this sucks. Yeah, I don't like what they did here. There's no reason for this. This is just, it takes you out of the game. Like, this is annoying. Everything moves faster than you while they're shooting. Not being able to see where you're going, have any kind of maps or understanding of anything. Whoa! Yeah, now we're just getting bombarded by this constantly. Like at first glance, when you first start playing it, it seems like, you know, not bad. It's kind of fun. It's kind of, but I really, like, anybody that's watched this channel knows how I feel about the first person thing, especially in this kind of situation, and just not really feeling it. And this is just getting old. Like, this thing just keeps spawning and shooting, and I feel like we have to, I feel like this is the way we came, but we have this thing here, so I don't know if what's going on. But this feels like we're going back. So I feel like we're going the wrong way. And we needed to go a different way through the first person cave or whatever. Yeah, this is getting a little just like, it started out like, yeah, you know, this could have been a silly little fun playable game. And then you start this. Especially since we can't see what we're supposed to do, any kind of directives. definitely makes the game a little more. I mean, if the game was more like this, it would be a decent, fun, playable little game for short bursts. I don't really feel like this is a longevity kind of game. I don't really feel like it has enough potential. I think that's why this is a Japanese only game, because I don't think we would have taken as much to it. I mean, I guess we'll try to figure out where we want to go from here. Just keep heading north, I guess. Oh, jeez, this is not fun. Like, honestly, the first person view where you can't really see anything, you don't really have this maneuverability trying to fight. This is just kind of obnoxious. Like, regardless of the outcome, not really that enjoyable in that situation. Can we just go? And we can't. We actually have to kill this flying bug before we can leave. Alright, so now we're back out here. And those guys are back. Yeah, I don't know what else we're supposed to do. I mean, all in all, the game, if it was just this tank game, it would be kind of fun for at least short bursts and works for Game Boy. But as soon as you start doing this, it just doesn't work. I mean, we have no map, we have no nothing, we're just kind of... Like, we did not turn around in a circle. I'm sorry, that was not a 360. Like, I guess, so we literally just, alright, fair enough. I mean, that's back to being north, though. Isn't this the same one where we were at already? Okay, now we come out of the... Okay, whatever. Again, like, this top-down part of this game is fun. It's the cave thing that just... First-person... Whatever, it's just not... It just kind of takes you out of the game a little bit. The power's finally starting to add up. Like, we've been getting power-ups for so long, and it hasn't really been doing anything. And then kablooey. I mean, the game is a basic little fun Game Boy game. Definitely works well for being on Game Boy. It has a slight, you know, kind of a quirky funness to it. Again, like I said, it probably doesn't have a longevity to it. I think the game's going to get kind of old fairly quickly. But I think in short bursts, another one which is, again, what Game Boy is really designed for is, that 20, 30 minutes here and there. I think it's a fun little game. Unfortunately, there's no passwords or anything, so I don't see where, being able to pick up and go kind of thing. It seems like it has to be done in one fell swoop, so to speak. So that, I think, is going to lend itself to a lot of people never getting through this game, because I don't really feel like this is going to be a really enjoyable game if you have to sit down and play through the whole thing. It just doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough game there to really, keep your interest without at some point being, okay, we're doing this some more. The enemies kind of change, but nothing else really does. And everything is just kind of ho hum the same kind of thing. Maybe later on it starts to improve a little bit, but from what we've seen, which I'm guessing is going to be a good majority of the game, is pretty monotonous, very basic, which is fine. It is a Game Boy game, so you have to hold that into account, where, it's a fun little silly game that you can sit down and play, but having to play the whole thing through at one go without having passwords and everything is a little disappointing. I mean, maybe there's another function later on that we just hadn't got to yet or whatnot. So, I don't know the whole thing, and since we can't read Japanese and do everything, I'm sure we're missing out on a decent amount, a little bit of things. But just as it is, sitting down, playing the game, it has a little unique quirkiness to it. It's a little fun, but it just a little. There's not a lot of game there, It's not this really, I want to sit down and play it. It's more just, it's there. Let's check it out. You play it for a little while. You kind of have a little bit of fun. I really hate the cave. Luckily, it was small, and there's very little going on. But if they actually made that any bigger or any more without any kind of maps or anything, I think it's just going to get frustrating, because the enemies would just kind of suck. And, you have this really horrible limited everything when you're in that kind of view, where you can't really avoid a lot of stuff. You're trying to shoot things and everything's faster, and the whole thing is just annoying and unnecessary. There really is no reason to switch into a first-person view for this kind of game. I think they could have went to the cave and then still worked your way through it like a normal thing, and I think everything would have been just fine, if not actually better. So that part of the game really takes me out of the enjoyment of it. And if they added more to it, I think it's going to be worse and worse for me. And I believe that a lot of people are going to start feeling the same. Again, that one was small. So, even still a small thing like that being annoying, can you imagine it being a much bigger cave system or anything else that they wind up throwing into there? So, all in all, it is a playable game. It is fun for a short burst. It's disappointing that there is no saving and continuing, or saving coming back to it later kind of thing, which is going to really drop the gameplay ability of it a lot, because I don't really feel it's a game that you could sit down for hours and hours playing and be having a lot of fun. It's more like, oh my god, I just want this to be done so I can say I've finished it. And you don't want games like that. You don't want a game that you're just so, oh my god, I don't want to keep playing it, but I just want to get through it. And, if you're in that situation, there's something wrong with the game. So, all in all, decent, fun little game to play here and there. Unfortunately, you can't just play it here and there at the moment that we can tell. So, take it for what it is. But other than that, you guys have a good one. Thanks for joining me. Until next time.